You wake up. You reach for your phone. You check messages before your eyes have fully adjusted to the light. You have 100 things on your list before noon. Now stop and ask yourself something strange. What did your ancestors do when they woke up? Not 100 years ago, not 1,000, tens of thousands of years ago. Before schedules, before obligations, before the pressure to be productive every single moment. What did they actually do all day? The answer is not what you think, and once you hear it, you may never look at your own life the same way again. Most people, when they imagine ancient humans, picture something exhausting. Constant hunting, running from predators, desperately searching for food from sunrise to sunset, a brutal, punishing existence where every hour was a fight to stay alive. That image is almost completely wrong. Anthropologist Marshall Solins spent decades studying hunter-gatherer societies and called them the original affluent society, not because they had wealth, but because they had something far rarer. They had time. Solins found that the average hunter-gatherer worked somewhere between 3 and 5 hours a day to meet all of their survival needs. 3 to 5 hours. Then they stopped. Then they rested, talked, played, slept, and did it again tomorrow. Let that settle for a moment. Your ancestors, with none of your technology, none of your tools, none of your infrastructure, spent less time working than you do before lunch. So what did they do with the rest? They slept. A lot. Researcher Jerome Siegel studied 3 modern hunter-gatherer tribes, including the Hadza of Tanzania, the San of Namibia, and the Chimane of Bolivia. He found they slept an average of 6 to 8 hours per night. But they also napped freely, without guilt, whenever their bodies asked. Not because they were lazy, because sleep was not a luxury. It was a biological right they never thought to question. When they were awake, they talked, they told stories. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner analyzed over 60 campfire conversations among the Unsee people of southern Africa. She found that during the day, their conversations were mostly practical: food, tools, logistics. But at night, around the fire, 80% of the conversation shifted to stories, to myth, to humor, to gossip about people who were not there. Your ancestors were not sitting in silence, staring into the dark. They were narrating the world to each other. They were building culture one story at a time. They played with their children, not in scheduled intervals, not between tasks, continuously. Children ran through camps. Adults watched without hovering. Learning happened not through instruction, but through imitation and play. Developmental psychologist Peter Gray has argued that hunter-gatherer children had nearly unlimited free play, and that this, not formal education, is the natural learning environment the human brain was actually built for. They groomed each other. This sounds small. It was not. Primatologist Robin Dunbar developed what is now called Dunbar's number, the idea that the human brain evolved to hold meaningful relationships with around 150 people. Grooming was the original social glue. It released oxytocin. It reduced cortisol. It was how trust was built and maintained without words. They made things. Tools, yes, but also art. The cave paintings at Lascaux in France date back over 17,000 years. The flutes found at Holy Fels Cave in Germany are over 40,000 years old. Your ancestors were not surviving between moments of creativity. Creativity was woven into every day. It was not a hobby. It was the work of being human. They moved, but not in straight lines towards destinations. They wandered. Evolutionary biologist Daniel Lieberman has argued that the human body is not built for sitting. It is built for low-intensity movement stretched across hours, not sprinting, not marathon training, walking, carrying, bending. The body your brain lives inside was designed by 100,000 years of unhurried motion. And then there was doing nothing, real nothing, not the anxious nothing of someone waiting for a notification, actual stillness. Sitting with other people, watching the grass move, watching the fire burn down. Your nervous system was calibrated across geological time to accept long stretches of quiet without interpreting them as failure. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. None of that sounds like your life, does it? You were built for a world that no longer exists. Your brain still runs the ancient software. It still expects 5 hours of physical effort, long unscheduled rest, firelit conversation, play without purpose, and silence without guilt. And every day you give it something radically different. Psychologist Jonathan Haidt has written extensively about the mismatch between the environment humans evolved in and the one they now inhabit. He calls this an evolutionary mismatch. Your brain is not broken. It is ancient. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just doing it inside a world it was never designed for. This is why silence makes you anxious. Your ancestors were never truly silent alone. Silence in the ancient world alone often meant danger. So when you sit alone in a quiet room today, some part of your nervous system still reads it as wrong. This is why you cannot stop thinking about what other people think of you. In a small tribe of 150 people, your reputation was everything. Social judgment was survival-level information. Your brain has not received the update that says the opinion of a stranger on the internet doesn't carry the same weight as the opinion of the 12 people your life actually depended on. This is why unstructured time feels like waste. You were never supposed to fill every hour. You were supposed to work until the work was done, then genuinely stop. But modern life removed the stopping point. The work is never done, and so the ancient signal that told your ancestors to rest never arrives. Your ancestors, with stone tools and no fire until they made it themselves, lived days richer in the basic textures of human experience than most modern lives. More rest, more play, more conversation that mattered, more contact with other bodies, more time spent in the simple fact of being alive. That is not nostalgia. You would not want their world. The suffering was real, but it was calibrated to your nervous system, and yours was calibrated to it. So tonight, when you lie awake running through tomorrow's list, understand what's actually happening. Your ancient brain is still looking for the campfire, still waiting for the conversation to wind down, still expecting the exhaustion that comes from actual physical effort, not the grinding mental load of 100 small decisions under fluorescent light. You wake up, you reach for your phone, you check messages before your eyes have fully adjusted to the light. And somewhere beneath all of it, an older version of you is still waiting for the sun to rise over the savannah, wondering what story someone will tell tonight around the fire.